Okay, welcome back. So in our last video, we made our way out to Uranus and set up our plan for our mid-course correction here. We're most of the way out. We still have like 1,000 days left of travel time. Yeah. So, we already set up everything, talked about inclination and the land and altitude. Our final destination is Ariel, one of the moons. Let's just go ahead and do this burn. So we need to go to here. So I don't use the auto center for mid-course corrections, just because they're much shorter and it's a little unnecessary, I would say. Overshot. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my phone. Okay. But anyways, the point is that I just think it's more accurate to get it down to the wire here. We want it right in the middle. I mean, okay, I guess we can turn on auto center. Autopilots are just so they can be kind of weird. So I'm gonna turn it on until we get situated here. That's good. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay. So I'm going to use burn time MFD and just punch in the delta V. It's just so much more accurate. And when you're doing mid-course corrections, little mistakes can be a lot. So I just think that this is the way to go. Go ahead and burn. And just keep an eye on the X. Yeah, that's fine. Sometimes it'll move more than that, but most of the time that's exactly what you want. Cool. Okay, so that should set us up in a good spot. But let's double check. Turn maneuver mode off. Yeah, looks pretty solid. Great. Okay. So now we still have 1,000 days to go. So I'm gonna pull up scenario editor. I'm just gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna go 1 month at a time. Yeah, and probably, so I mean, inclination is going all over the place. 58, 3, 70. So, yeah, I mean, maybe I could have just waited until 100 days out and just done the one mid-course correction. I don't know, or I could have just not paid so much attention to the inclination and just gotten the altitude down. And then when I get closer, worry about that. I'm not really sure. Still kind of figuring out the best way, but we did what we did. So I'm gonna keep going here. Yeah, now's about the time when I want to start thinking about. So we're 100 days out. Inclination is way off, but we still have that LAN that looks okay. Minimum altitude went up. I think we're close enough. Or maybe we should wait until there's more gravity influence. I think. Okay. Let's go. Let's just wait. Let's wait a little bit. 60. So I'm just watching that red number. Okay, I think this is like the ideal time to do what we need to do. We're in its sphere of influence now. That red number turned green. We're at 0.51 gravity. So I think whatever we do now is going to like actually stick for the most part. So remember, it's 165 and then 97. Okay, cool. Let's go back to TransX. Turn on maneuver mode. Now that we're so close, I highly doubt we'll do anything with prograde. I think we need to do inward, right? Because, yeah. Yep. So it's not affecting our inclination. So I'm just gonna go down to like where we need to be. That's probably okay. And then see what happens when I do some plane change. Let's go down this other way. That's going up. Interesting. Just gonna go back and forth between these two. Just gonna check to see, since I'm getting this 97.81. Might as well. Yeah, that works for me. 170, so we're like right there. So that should be, it's pretty ideal. I'm happy with that. Let's see. 133 delta V. I mean, it's less than the last one. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, going back to burn time. We have 133 even. And burn. Let's see. $170, 97.78, and 124. I think that's about as good as we're gonna get. Sick. Okay. So now that we're so close, I'm probably not going to use the scenario editor anymore. In fact, hey puppy, dogs give me some licks. I think that's got to be it over there. Yep. There she is. Actually, when I'm out here and I'm doing a lot of time acceleration, I'll switch the camera to global frame. That way it's not just like flying all over the place. Yeah, you can see those moons. Look at those moons go. Quite a lot of them. And I think that's Neptune behind it there. Yeah. It's interesting how blue Neptune looks from here. Check, make sure everything's okay. PET's 2000 M, whatever that stands for. 2 million seconds, I guess. You can see it kind of coming into view there. What's that one that's way out there? Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Cool, we're gonna get real close this time. Just checking. Yeah, everything looks like nothing's moved much at all, really. Awesome. And then I should probably point out, so that down here on the encounter MFD, it says circ delta 3.034K. So that means to get into a circular orbit around Uranus, I'm going to use 3000 delta V, and I have 6.86. So I'm about to use like a quarter of my tank to get there. So we're gonna have leftover fuel. You know, like this is gonna work out. I'm not sure how much the plane change is gonna cost, but I don't think it's gonna cost that much. You can see on the orbit MFD, the Ariel's orbit in yellow is starting to become more visible as we get closer. You can see the rings now. It's awesome. Uranus is so cool. Like, I feel like it doesn't get enough love. Everybody always talks about Saturn. I think it's a cool planet. Okay, let's check in. 136,000 seconds until periapsis. Yeah, it's really cool. I like this view too because once you're like in line with the moons, you can't really see the rings anymore because you're basically in the same plane. So this is always fun. Let's double check. There it is. 14. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's check in. So I don't think I really need TransX anymore. I'm going to set this to time to periapsis and then circularize. So in 900 seconds, we are going to burn for 168 seconds. That's how long it's going to take us to get into a circular orbit around Uranus. So I've seen people talk about the O-Birth effect, O-Birth orbit. If you don't know what that is, it's basically... So what I'm doing, I think is easier, but it's much less efficient. Like, basically I'm just getting into an orbit that is higher than my target, and then I'm going to drop down to my target. With the O-Birth orbit, I don't think it's called O-Birth orbit, but that planning is what you would actually, like, a more efficient way would be to get as close to Uranus as possible, and then when you're at the periapsis there, you burn until your apoapsis is at the same altitude as your target moon, and then you rendezvous there. Sounds cool. It's a little out of my league, so we're not going to do that today, but that is definitely something that in the future I would like to learn how to do. I think that would be pretty sick. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that is a thing. So now I'm going to go back to the regular camera. Now that we're close, it's fucking awesome. Look at that. 700 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Retrograde is on. And you can see that this is an easy way to tell that you're out of alignment or out of plane with a planet or a moon or whatever, because in the orbit MFD, it looks like Ariel's orbit is very like elliptical, but if you look at its eccentricity, it's 0.0006, which means it's very circular. And that's just because it's basically showing you that it's at an angle to you. That's how it's like portrayed. So it's kind of a quick and easy way to check that. Anyways, let's do this. Give me a long burn. Space. Yeah, there it goes. Cool. Hey, look at that. We're in orbit around Uranus. How sick is that? And there is our target destination down there. I think that this is probably a good time to end this video. And in the next video, we will do plane change, and probably our final burn to make it to Ariel. We'll see how it goes. I'll see you in the next video.